Yesterday, you mentioned having another session of Russian roulette, so there must have been a previous session.
Yeah, it was about 5 years ago. It feels pretty significant and all, but I don't think about it too much. As you can imagine, I rarely ever talk about it. When I think of how it went wrong, I feel pretty embarrassed actually. I've never told anyone what went wrong. It'd be nice to keep it that way.
Was the attempt under similar circumstances, job loss maybe?
Not exactly. I was a college student at the time. My financial aid got reduced, and once again, I struggled with trying to maintain the basics in life. The pattern of losing money and the threat of losing the basics is also very stressful. It's an ugly cycle. It's bad enough to have these problems, but the repetition just makes it feel so much worse.
You must have had some help, like counseling, antidepressants, that sort of thing.
Yes, I've spent a few years with that. A few drugs here and there, off and on. Just a prescription kind, though. I've been to several counselors and psychiatrists over the years. I did find some of what I learned about antidepressants and cognitive behavioral therapy useful, but they're no replacement for reliable sources of food and shelter. Especially sources that are free from the threat of violence, unlike prisons. The world keeps telling me that I just want too much. I'd also like to put on my wish list having a career, occupation, whatever you want to call it, where I can have thoughts worth thinking. Wanting such things starts even more trouble for myself.
So you want to do something like helping other people or exploring the oceans and skies or maybe become an artist, something like that.
Something like that. I'm glad that I went to community college first and got my associate in science so I could at least say I completed something other than just a few classes. I later transferred to a university and I majored in physics. The short version is I completed most of that, uh, but I ran out of money, as usual. Now, here I am, but if money were not so problematic, there's a very good chance that I'd be doing something physics related. Under my current circumstances, consuming physics, as in reading books about it or watching tutorials about it, feels bittersweet. Mostly bitter, so I don't really bother. But I can still sense my interest for math and science in the back of my head.
Compared to you, I'm more practical. I prefer computers. My job demands that I stare at computer screens all day. I think about some of life. I think about some of life's bigger abstractions from time to time, but I try not to fixate on such things. What's in front of me is more important. I think of it as one concrete day to day algorithm at a time.
Yeah. Fuck balancing those forces, electromagnetic fields, differential equations. Well, I just don't really care about those things now. Just not today. The more practical path to a stable income is more important now.
I don't remember if you said how long you've been out of work last time. How long's it been?
It's been about a year now. My wife has had the exclusive honor of providing for the both of us. She doesn't deserve it. She didn't cause my problems. I've been fortunate that she doesn't complain to me about the added burden much at all. I know if she did that I would feel even worse. The weight of my problems has gotten to her though. She's already contacted a lawyer for divorce proceedings later this year. Tick tock, tick tock.
I see, the clock ticks for thee.
So it does. I never quite thought of deadlines as being so deadly till just now. I've always liked clocks too. The feeling doesn't look so mutual now. Any time tracking device now that I look at has something like a bomb attached to it. Calendars are not my friend. I do try to see something positive in these matters. At least my wife will be free from me soon enough. Less of a financial burden. One less person to prop up. Her life has gotten worse since meeting me, contaminated. Very quickly, after moving in together, problems started. My health wasn't the greatest. I remember looking at her once as I was lying on the floor, sick, thinking something like, just help me believe that our lives are not plagued by the pains that I carry with me. Make me stop spreading the poison I so tragically breathe and conceive.
Contaminated and plagued? You're not the Spanish flu or Ebola, but I can see what you're hinting at.
I know a lot of this is letting my emotions get the best of me, but it is difficult to just not allow sickness and income instability take a toll on my sensibilities, okay? Just, it happens. My wife can be so patient and virtuous, but she cannot play the role of personal savior indefinitely.
Does she know? Um, she must know that you have your own plans at ending things, right?
Yeah, she knows, but I think we both agree it's my decision and my life. We've never quite said it that way explicitly, but we both know it. It's hard not talking about it. Sometimes it's hard avoiding it altogether.
Does anyone else know?
No, neither me or my wife are sociable. During the entire year that we've lived together, we've had no friends over. We don't bother with friends. Humans come with too many problems. I like to think I'm wrong and it's just me as some sort of aberration, a troubled field aberration. But even when we humans are not so problem filled, like my wife and maybe you, the costs of trying to hold on to people are often too much. Well, I feel like I'm cutting myself off, but I should get going. All right, same time tomorrow then?
Yeah, same time tomorrow. Bye.
Video posted every day.